Hello and welcome everyone to the Marr Show. Thank you guys for joining me for another fantastic episode. Quite recently, I've been in a very Amiibo mood, you would say. I've been collecting a lot of new Amiibos over the past week. I've also been watching a lot of videos talking about Amiibos, and I've just been in a crazy Amiibo mood for these little figurines and all that. And they're no stranger to my channel either. I've made tons of videos in the past talking about my Amiibo collection, doing small sketches and whatever with these little figurines. And it's been a while since I actually talked about them, as it's kind of cute. Looking back at my very first Amiibo video I did way back in 2015, and then looking at my collection now and see how massive it has gotten. In fact, I just now realized that last year, in 2019, celebrated the 5th year anniversary of Amiibos. It's been 5 years since we had these toy-to-life figurines come to life, and today I just want to revisit my Amiibos to showcase my collection and also talk about a few things that I just felt like addressing, like in the Amiibo collecting way, and what Amiibos will be like in the future. There's a couple of things I do want to mention, but I think for starters I should show you my Amiibo family. Hold on. If you guys seen my videos in the past will recognize this shelf right here. This used to be where all of my Amiibos were kind of clutched together trying to make space whatever way, but I decided to reorganize a little bit, so there's actually two spots of where the Amiibos are located. This is the first spot which we'll focus here, and this is home to mostly my Super Smash Bros. And Mario series Amiibos. And I got it a lot more better organized than I did in the past. Like for example over here, this is where all my Super Mario series Amiibos are, you know, ones that are compatible or made for like Mario Party 10, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Maker. I even love the Amiibo diorama there with the blocks like in the first Mario game. I just think that's really cool. Of course, you got all the Smash Bros. Fighters right here. In fact, I actually organized it in terms of the characters' appearances. So at one end you got Captain Falcon, Jigglypuff, Ness, and Luigi, the 4 unlockables from the first game. And it goes chronologically with Melee, Brawl, Ryu, 3DS, and Ultimate at the very end. And on top of here, I got the Mii Fighters along with some of the Echo Fighters on the Donkey Kong display. And then on one of my personal favorite dioramas in terms of Amiibos is the Super Smash Bros. Wii U diorama. And I have the original 8 fighters located there. I just thought that would be really fitting, and it just looks really cool overall to have all original 8 fighters introduced in the very first Smash game all in one diorama. I just really love that. And of course, the oddball of the Amiibos on the shelf is the Super Mario Bros. Cereal, which has the Amiibo card on here. And if you actually put it in Super Mario Odyssey, it will actually read it as a delicious Amiibo, which I think is hilarious. Even though I have the box still and such, me and my brother actually did buy this box multiple times, not trying to scam or anything, but rather we decided to try the cereal one day, and it was actually really great cereal. It was like a mixed berry cereal, and it was just really tasty, and it's a shame they don't make this cereal anymore. Although I think one of my personal favorite Amiibos is the Toon Link Amiibo, not because of what I can use with him in the game or anything like that, but rather the memories of using this figurine. If you've seen my videos for a very long time, may recognize this used to be a possessed Amiibo named Guff, and it's just the memories of using this figurine to start in, and it's just fun to look back at and remember this possessed Amiibo tormented me or something like that. So you're probably wondering, okay, you got the Super Smash Bros. And Mario Amiibos right here, but where's your other Amiibos at? Well, they're coincidentally just a little walk from here. On this shelf that's literally like at the edge of my computer desk, this used to be home to my brother's dragons. He has a ton of dragon statues, and he graciously allowed me to use this shelf for my ever-growing Amiibo family, and his other dragons are now on top of the kitchen counter. So I really appreciate my brother for allowing me to use this shelf, as one of the things I really like is that you can now finally see the Amiibo dioramas in much better detail. Like, they used to be on the very top shelf and you couldn't really see them that well, so getting able to see these beautifully made dioramas that I got years ago is a plus in my book. I really like them. And so yeah, this shelf is for the other series of Amiibos, like the Animal Crossing, Splatoon, Legend of Zelda, and many different one-off Amiibos. They're all right here before I'm gonna need a bigger shelf. I always will love the Yan Yoshi Amiibos, especially the Mega Yan Yoshi, as not only does it have, well, the Amiibo chip, but it's also just made out of yarn, and I think it's incredible. They're so cute. I love them. Although funny story is regarding the Yarn Yoshi amiibos as I was moving them, my little puppy pal Grover almost got his hands on Poochie, and I mean, like, granted, they look like something that could be made for a dog toy, but Grover tried to get Poochie and such is like, no Grover, this is my treat, and now Grover's looking so guiltily over there. I think he's kind of spying on Poochie. It's like, I want my toy, even though he's got like lamb chop and 10 plus other toys he can use. Although personally my favorite amiibos that I have on the shelf are the Skylander, Bowser, and Donkey Kong figurines. They were made for the Skylanders Supercharged game, I believe. I may be wrong on the title. I tried to play that Skylanders game with the amiibos and it was a bit too slow paced for me. I couldn't really get into it that well. But what I really like about these figurines is that they were made for a completely different series of toy-to-life games that was not just for a Nintendo base, but just for like the very first toy-based or toy-to-life series that came out at the time of the figurines. Plus also I just love the fact to see like Donkey Kong and Bowser in the Skylander art style. You rarely ever see like Nintendo characters in a completely different art style aside from the traditional one. And one thing I really like is the functionality of these figurines, is that they're actually two toys in one. So I don't know if you can see it that well, but I'll try my best. You can see the Skylanders label right there, but if you turn the base this way, you can use it for Amiibo. So you could go from using it in the Skylanders games, then you could use it for the Amiibos and such, and I just think that's really cool. I don't know if like you can have two save files, like if you have Amiibo save data and you want to use it for Skylander game, does that mean the Amiibo save data has to be replaced with Skylanders? I'm not sure. Let me know if anyone knows that particular question there. And I guess I should mention the most expensive Amiibos I got in. Now granted I got these eons ago, at the same time that the Skylander game did came out, but that was for the dock variants of Donkey Kong and Bowser with their respective vehicles. I paid about $120 for those 4 figurines, so that's the most I paid for Amiibos, but I mean, I just really love the style, and plus with the dark skins on them, they just look really cool and batty, and I just really like them, even though I may not care for Skylanders personally. And that's my entire Amiibo family, 157 family members to call my own practically. It's just insane to see how massive they have gotten, and it's just fun to collect them. Like, I've always been a fan of Nintendo, and if these figurines were released way back when I was a kid, like during the GameCube, Nintendo Wii era, I would have been even more obsessed, considering you could collect them, the figurines like Mario and company, and it's just really cool to collect them all and so on. Although even though I love collecting for the Amiibo figurines, that doesn't mean that collecting isn't always exciting or the best way or something like that. Like if I go to like a Walmart or GameStop or something, you won't see a huge variety of different Amiibo figurines. You might end up seeing like a huge supply of Animal Crossing Amiibos for some odd reason. And some Amiibos are more expensive than others. It's actually really funny to look back at my first Amiibo video and mention how the Wii Fit Trainer, Villager, and Marr figurines were the hardest ones to find back at the time. But nowadays, there's a lot of different ones. Like you got the Coin, Cloud Amiibos for Smash Brothers, Callie and Mari, even though I got them, they're a bit more up in price sometimes. The most expensive Amiibo that you could get publicly is the QB Amiibo for Box Boy World on 3DS. And I don't know anything about QB or the Box Boy series, even though you're gonna have some gameplay footage. It looks like a decent puzzle platformer, but the Amiibo itself can cost around $300, which sounds ludicrous, but keep in mind the Amiibo was only released in Japan, and I'm not sure how well the game sold in Japan. I don't know if the Amiibo really sold that well, so it's kind of understandable. And there's even some other Amiibos that are competition only, like the Monster Hunter Story Amiibos were part of a special prize giveaway. There was like a gold Arkling and Inkling Amiibo that was made for a Splatoon competition, and there was even a gold Mega Man 11 Amiibo that was part of a special Mega Man 30th anniversary raffle. There's actually been one category of Amiibos that I've thought about back and forth about starting to collect, and that's the Amiibo cards. Now I know some people may not like the Amiibo cards or something, but personally I don't have anything wrong with having another series of Amiibos coming out. I compare it to like Star Wars in a way, where you got the action figures that people love to collect, and then you got a whole series of trading cards based on Star Wars. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with like having a subsection of Amiibos to collect. However, believe it or not, there's actually more Amiibo cards than there are figurines, like counting all the Animal Crossing, the Mario Superstar Sports Series cards, and even the Shadow Mewtwo card for Pokken Tournament. You're looking at 552 cards to collect. That's more than the figurines, which is insane. Then again, cards are easier to make than making molds of plastic figurines. Although I get the feeling I'm gonna end up collecting the Amiibo cards, so I better get a lot of card binders, because 552. My gosh, they're multiplying like rabbits. Okay, so I talked about a lot about collecting Amiibos, rare figurines that are hard to come by and such, even competition exclusive Amiibos, but I haven't talked about what they were made for, and that's the fact that they were made to put additional content into certain Nintendo games. And there's a lot of different games out there from like spanning from the Wii U, 3DS, and Nintendo Switch that have used Amiibos for multiple different ways. Some uses are better than others. Like, I think there's some people that will debate like which games use Amiibos the best, and some that just feel cheap and pointless to use or something. I don't use every single Amiibo figurine on all my games, but there are 4 games out there that I personally think they use Amiibos in a wonderful way. In Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe, you can use many different Amiibo figurines to unlock many different driving costumes for your Mii character. I still love the Star Fox costume just because it's so adorable. And with Deluxe, you get a bunch of other characters like Pac-Man and the Splatoon Inkling. I made a joke back in my old Amiibo video about not understanding the Pixel Toad use in Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, but after using it in the Switch version, I really enjoyed finding Pixel Toad. It really makes you think outside of the box of where Toad can hide, and he can hide pretty sneakily in a lot of the levels. While Star Fox Zero is pretty small, I still love the fact that if you use the Fox Amiibo, you can change the look of your R-Wing to how it looks in the original Star Fox game. I mean, come on, that's just pretty cool. And I think the most useful way of the Amiibos is in Super Mario Odyssey. If you use like certain different Mario characters, you can unlock costumes for free. Granted, you don't have to use the Amiibo figurines, you can still buy the costumes in the store like always. However, if you're like me, who wants to grab all the costumes in Odyssey and not have to go on a mega long grind to constantly refuel on coins to buy all the costumes, using many different figurines to unlock costumes for free will save you a lot of time and money. So overall, I do love the Amiibos and such, although recently I've been noticing a sort of debate about whether or not the Amiibos will continue into the future. Like, as of recently, there's not a whole lot of Nintendo games that heavily promote the use of Amiibos. In fact, there's many games out there that I'm sort of surprised don't have Amiibo functionality, like Luigi's Mansion 3 or Super Mario Maker 2. And even some people are speculating that this year, 2020, will be the last year of the Nintendo Amiibos. So while I do agree with some people that Amiibos are slowly phasing out, I don't think 2020 will be the last year. Like I say, we'll see like some of the downloadable content figurines come out in Amiibo form, and maybe some small little use of Amiibos in a future Mario title probably, but in terms of seeing them last till like 2025, I don't see them lasting that long. But then again, come to think about it, I don't think Amiibos or like Nintendo don't need to rely on Amiibos a whole lot. I mean, think about it. Back in 2014, Nintendo was in deep trouble. They weren't making as much money, the Wii U wasn't performing as well, and so Nintendo at that state was not performing. Like, their sales were pretty low. But then as soon as the first wave of the Smash Bros. Amiibos hit, Nintendo saw sales figures high in years. Like, they were making a lot of money because of the Amiibos. And I'm not gonna say the Amiibos were groundbreaking or anything. They weren't like high tech or anything like that, or even did anything major to many of the Nintendo games. But in terms of saving Nintendo at a point where they were really struggling, you have to thank them for saving Nintendo, for helping them get back up in profits and such. Now granted, as a consumer, I will have to admit there are times where Nintendo release Amiibo and don't make enough and then be like, sorry, we're sold out of like NES or Shulk or all the other Amiibo figurines. So that, I think, is sort of a bad move of making low quality on certain Amiibo figurines and so on. In fact, actually, speaking of the NES Amiibo, I remember one time when the NES Amiibo was originally a GameStop exclusive, I was at the website and I was about to buy or add the NES Amiibo to the cart, and then the GameStop site crashed because so many people tried to order the NES Amiibo, and that's just insane to think about. And really kind of bad that they didn't make enough figurines for like certain characters that people will love. But in terms of heavy use in games for the future, I don't see Nintendo heavily relying on Amiibos at this stage. And I say maybe in a couple years, Amiibos won't be as important and won't be used in games later on. But that doesn't mean that Amiibos aren't special. I mean, they're still incredible figurines and I just love them. There's not much I can say without sounding repetitive, but they're just amazing. I'm so happy to be collecting them. But with any case, that's just my little video talking about the Nintendo Amiibo figurines, my little opinion about like the Amiibo cards, or like Amiibo lasting in 2025 or whatever case. But that's just me rambling. In the comment section below, I implore if you would love to share your thoughts on Nintendo Amiibos. Like, which figurines did you love? Which games do you think use the Amiibos the best way possible? Or if you want to showcase your Amiibo collection, do like a little video response or something. I think it'd be really cool to share and talk about our love for these fantastic figurines and so on. And so with all that out of the way, thank you guys for watching this episode. God bless yins, and I will see you all in the next episode of The Marr Show. Bye-bye!